The Rattlers looking for their first win of the season. The Noles trying to get back in the win column. We're underway at the Donald L. Tucker Center with Tania Latson pushing the pace and driving to the bucket, not to be. And KK Timpson's attempt to corral the loose ball goes empty. It rolls out of play. Ball to Florida A&M.
Right from the tip, you see the Seminoles trying to attack the basket, attack hard. And one difference you'll see this year for Florida State is they're looking to attack on the defensive end as well and put a lot of pressure on all 94 feet of the court.
And as we take a look at the Florida A&M starting five, a new flavor across the board for this Rattlers team. Three of the starters, in fact, are incumbents, and two of them are returners. Meanwhile, for Florida State, as we take a look at the Seminoles starting five, with the Noles working right to left across your screen, you see a wide presence of veterans with the newcomer Malaya Williams out of Cincinnati.
Yeah, Malaya Williams, a transfer from the University of Cincinnati, has been a nice addition in the offseason. Length in the post is something that she can provide, as well as some good long-range shooting.
Empty possession so far, both sides. And as we take a look at the head coach of Florida A&M, it's Bridget Gordon in her second season as the head coach of the Rattlers, previously the assistant coach at Cincinnati, and has been an assistant coach at 9 different programs leading in to this, her head coaching debut, or the second season of her head coaching debut at Florida A&M. And just to give you guys at home a taste of the places she has been: New Mexico State, Cincinnati, K-State, SMU, Tennessee, Wichita State, Georgia State, and Stetson. She was also a WNBA scout for a couple of years as well.
Not to mention her stellar playing career, not only in the WNBA, but also at the University of Tennessee. We'll touch a little more on that later.
A takeaway for Omaria Gordon, trying to dish Tania Latson, and Latson charges in, but the mid-range too strong, doesn't go. Well, we introduced you to Bridget Gordon. Let's also take a second to introduce you to the Seminoles head coach, Brooke Wyclef. We'll get to that momentarily. Meanwhile, we're back underway with Florida A&M inbounding the basketball to Tanaja Purifoy, and if she is 5 feet, that might be a bit of a stretch, according to her head coach. Back to Coach Wyclef. It's her third season as FSU's head coach, was also the interim in the 2020-2021 season. Both seasons with 12 or more ACC wins in that COVID year, 9-7. They had 4 ranked wins a year ago under Coach Brooke.
Yeah, Brooke Wyclef, already a Hall of Famer as a player here, has her jersey hanging in the rafters at the Tucker Center.
Her Seminoles and the Rattlers are trying to get the scoring started. A foul on the floor. Omaria Gordon drew contact on her way in.
Both teams looking to play at an up-tempo pace, putting pressure on the basketball on the defensive end and trying to score quickly on the offensive end.
That fall goes on Tanaja Purifoy, the transfer from Chipola College down the Panhandle. Timpson spins, too strong. Williams, big offensive rebound. She'll earn a trip to the free throw line.
And again, Malaya Williams, we touched on her already, but a nice off-season addition in the transfer portal for head coach Brooke Wyclef. Williams with the experience playing at Cincinnati as well as her freshman year at the University of Louisville.
First free throw attempts on the season for Malaya. First one looks good.
Williams, the 6'4" forward from Georgetown, Kentucky, averaging 7 rebounds a game already in this young season for Florida State. Gets the Noles on the board there. Those 2 free throws.
So 2-0 Florida State in the first couple of minutes of regulation here this evening. Sabu Gay driving into the double team. Good ball movement here by the Rattlers. Purifoy, though, hits back iron.
KK Timpson doing what she does best, which is rebound the basketball. She leads the nation in rebounding.
And Carla Villegas doing what she does best, splashing the ball through from the perimeter.
Nice to see Villegas start off with the make for the Florida State Seminoles.
Gay nearly lost the handle, fighting for it. And Omaria Gordon crashes in to tie up Purifoy.
That'll be Florida State basketball. Again, you see the aggressiveness on the defensive end. Nice pass from Amaria Gordon to find her sophomore teammate Villegas to light it up from three. Just the second made three-point field goal of the season for Villegas.
Florida State certainly would love to get her hot. Meanwhile, for Gordon, who operates with the basketball, last year known for her offensive explosion, but also was second in the ACC in the assist-turnover ratio. Latson off balance, fight for the rebound, and Florida A&M comes away with it for the moment. Look at the effort by Florida State. That's another tie-up, and the ball will head back to Florida A&M.
I think we've already seen Amaria Gordon on the floor at least 3 or 4 times, diving after those loose balls. That's a nice rebound there underneath. That's Ellis, I believe, that stole that one away from KK Timpson.
Aaliyah Ellis awarding Florida A&M possession of the basketball, trailing by 5 in the first 3 minutes of regulation here this evening. And a foul on the way in.
Gordon with the reach around there, tried to knock it away from behind. Thought she might have gotten away with that.
So each side with the foul. In fact, Florida A&M has a couple. Nifty save there by Malaya Williams. And KK Timpson in transition, who's the beneficiary.
That's a highlight reel right there. Malaya Williams with the nice behind-the-back flip to keep the ball in play off the deflection. And then great vision to find KK Timpson underneath. Nice pass. Gotta give that to Malaya Williams on the assist.
First 7 points of this game all belong to Florida State. Latson got a hand in there, but Griffin maintains possession. The Rattlers trying to connect some interior passes. Instead, it comes back the other way with Latson. Aggressive to the basket. She'll earn a trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, Florida State has already forced 5 turnovers here early in this game. That's a nice pass from Carla Villegas to feed KK Timpson. Take a look, Tanaya Latson taking it hard. Taking the contact, but couldn't quite finish through it. We'll go to the line for 2.
The junior from Miami, Florida, who's on just about every single ACC and All-American watch list you can imagine, shoots her first couple of free throws.
Tanaya Latson, one of the best players in the country, showing was pretty much the unanimous freshman of the year 2 years ago, and picked up right where she left off last season. Already over 1,400 career points. She's just a junior.
2-time All-Conference as well. She was on the preseason All-Conference team. In fact, had the second most preseason player of the year votes, second only to Hannah Hidalgo.
Latson came up a little gimpy on that one. Not sure what happened there. Was off the ball, and she's gonna need a sub. Good look inside, nice strong take from Sage Glover, the graduate transfer from Niagara.
Glover, an undersized post who her head coach says compares herself to Dennis Rodman, gets Florida A&M on the board.
Love it. It's an old school reference. I'm not sure all these players even know Dennis Rodman, but that's a great comparison. If she can rebound like that, looking forward to seeing it.
We'll keep an eye on that here this evening. Sydney Bowles, the transfer from Texas A&M, operating with the basketball for Florida State with a 7-point lead. Got past one defender and lays it in off the glass.
Yeah, Bowles would look like she was trying to draw the defense to her and dish it down to KK Timpson. Defense never came, so she just went ahead and banked it off and got her first points of the game.
Gay comes to a jump stop, then lays it in. Nifty move for number 0 in green. Bowles pulls the trigger. Once again, another fight for the rebound. It'll go to the Rattlers.
KK Timpson trying to tip it to herself that time, but that was Sage Glover in there to mix it up and get the loose ball team rebound for the Rattlers.
Glover averages, or is averaging, 4 rebounds per game coming into this contest this afternoon.
Number 30, Olivia Delancey, going to check in. She was a preseason all-SWAC second-team player for the Rattlers, coming in off the bench here today for Florida A&M.
Oh, good look out there, a wide open jumper, but Demaya Griffin airballs the 3-ball.
I'm going to say that was last touched by a white jersey. They are actually going to correct that and say it was last touched by a Rattler. That was a good look from 3, really, however, for Griffin.
And look at Florida A&M dialing up the pressure here. They'll remain with Florida State, but it's a different look by the Rattlers here.
Yeah, nice move there by Bridget Gordon. Both Omaria Gordon and Tanaya Latson, the 2 primary ball handlers for Florida State, out of the game right now. So Bridget Gordon opting to put a little extra pressure on the backup Seminole guards. Dos Santos nearly loses that one. They're going to say it's last touch by a Rattler.
And that'll take us to our media timeout midway through the first quarter. The homestanding Seminoles lead it 11-4 at the Tuck. 7-point lead for the Seminoles here in the first quarter, and we'll take a second to look at their team outlook. The big 3 of Latson, Timpson, and Gordon represent 62% of their offense from last season. They lose Sarah Bajetti, but they do add 4 transfers in Bowles, Williams, Dos Santos, and Chavez.
Yeah, and we've seen 3 of those transfers already. Williams obviously in the starting lineup, Sydney Bowles and Hayani Dos Santos, the 2 first players off this Seminole bench. So that's a pretty good group of returners and some really good newcomers as well for Brooke Wyclef and the Seminoles.
Florida State will resume the action with the basketball in front of Florida A&M's bench. Pull up for Omaria Gordon, and OMG connects.
Omaria Gordon doing what she does, draws the defense, and that mid-range game on point so far here in this game.
Nice move for Cheyenne McEvans.
McEvans picking right where she left off. Again, 14 points and 8 rebounds versus the Florida Gators.
Off the shot fake, the dribble penetration, a nice move by Bowles as well.
Sydney Bowles has been inserted into the lineup because 4 quick points here for Florida State to lead the Noles.
FSU's made 4 of their last 5 shots. McEvans, top of the key, gives it up to Griffin. Inside 10 for the Rattlers. Good defense so far by the Seminoles. 3 ball too strong. That's a big offensive rebound for Olivia Delancey. Empty possession though. Florida State comes away with the basketball.
Sydney Bowles just wanted to get the ball over to Amaria Gordon, but good pressure being applied by Gay over there on the left wing. Bowles just double dribbled the basketball. It's the first turnover of the game for the Noles. For the Rattlers, Florida State has already forced 5 Rattler turnovers in this game, got 4 points off those turnovers.
Each of these teams certainly wanting to keep those turnovers at a minimum. Florida A&M had 22 in their last game against Florida. Gay with the basketball, step through, nice move.
Really nice step through move by the graduate transfer, Sabu Gay.
And here come the Rattlers back within 7 of Florida State with 3 minutes left in the quarter. Bonner inside, Bowles, no foul called.
Take another look at this Euro step by Gay. Really nice move to split the Seminole defenders and finish at the rim.
Ball was last touched by a Rattler, so it remains with Florida State. The Noles have 10 seconds left to operate. Inside, Bonner lays it in.
Avery Treadwell trapped in the corner, didn't know she was going to be able to get that off and find a teammate, but nice cut from Amaya Bonner.
That ball knocked away by Snoop Turnage. It'll remain with Florida A&M.
Take another look there. Nice backdoor cut. Bonner was being denied. Dove right to the rim, and a good find from Avery Treadwell, the sophomore from Knoxville.
Lead back to 9 for Florida State. Griffin with it on the wing. Sydney Hendricks slips through 2 defenders, but couldn't cash in the layup attempt.
That's a nice move from Hendricks. Had the size advantage as she was posting up the 5'4" Amaria Gordon, then just a little bit too strong on the finish.
Speaking of Amaria Gordon, she operates with the basketball. Looking for a screen from Treadwell, now getting it back out top to Turnage. Turnage turns the corner, lays it up with the right hand, and will shoot a couple of free throws.
That's a strong take from Snoop Turnage there. Florida A&M switching those ball screens, and Snoop Turnage taking advantage of her length against the smaller Rattler defender.
Turnage, the junior from Atlanta, Georgia, came out of high school, Melissa, as somebody who is highly touted for her shooting ability. We've seen it in spurts here in Tallahassee, but I've been impressed with her ability to find other ways to impact basketball games.
Absolutely. Snoop Turnage, one of the best rebounders on the team last year, just behind KK Timpson. She was in the starting lineup for a good part of the season, and it was specifically for her ability to defend and rebound. That length was able to bother some players in ACC play.
2 good-looking free throws as well for Snoop, and the lead is pushed to double digits. 11-point lead for the Noles with 2 minutes left in the quarter. Gay, stopped by Treadwell, comes to a stop and hits the shot.
I thought Gay might have shuffled her feet on that one, but I'm going to say it was a strong jump stop and a good finish for Sabu Gay. She's got 6 points to lead the Rattlers.
Nice move by Amaria Gordon.
That mid-range game for Amaria Gordon. She knows at 5'4" it may be hard for her sometimes to get all the way to the rim. So knows to be able to pull up and shoot that from the ACC and knock it down.
Both teams showing nifty footwork in the lane, early goings here. Griffin tried to get by Treadwell. She wrestles the ball away and delivers an outlet pass to Latson off the Euro step, no good. And Treadwell brings down the rebound. Good stuff by Treadwell, and it earns Tania Latson a trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, Tania Latson 0 of 4 from the floor. She's had some decent looks, but also has had to try to finish through some contact. Got a couple of free throws already and have a chance to add to that total here from the free throw line.
Latson 2 for 2 on her previous trip to the line.
To think that she's at the top of every scouting report, highlighted, underlined, in red, whatever it is. Again, averages 27 points a game. Over her career has averaged over 20 a game. One of the most prolific scorers in all of women's college basketball. And doesn't get enough national attention.
No.
Maybe this is the year that Tania Latson will finally get a little bit more respect from the national media.
Tied the program record a season ago for fastest to 1,000 career points, in fact, did Tania Latson.
Well, Avery Treadwell going to get whistled for the foul. Amaya Bonner had come up with the steal. They're going to say that Treadwell had fouled Ellis. She was trying to fight inside for some post position.
Just the second foul on the Seminoles in this first quarter. Meanwhile, 6 for Florida A&M to this point.
Number 13, Yvette Subaritis checks into the game.
Hendricks. That's a traveling violation down low, working on Snoop Turnage.
Florida A&M going to try to apply some full court pressure here. See if they can force a turnover, at least speed up the Seminoles. Seminoles want to play fast. Not sure you can make them play any faster.
Another rebound for Avery Treadwell. Third offensive rebound for Florida State. 2 of them belong to Treadwell. Inside 10 on their second chance opportunity. Latson looking for some help, spins through the contact, and will shoot a couple more.
Latson has been on the ground a lot already and has taken a beating, and we're only almost through the first quarter. Tries to contort her body to get up and finish that one. Can't quite do it, but it'll go back to the free throw line. Latson is connected on all 4 of the free throw attempts she's had so far in this game.
One of the many things that makes Tania Latson special, the way she can attack the basket. And even if it does only earn a trip to the free throw line, you get a stat line like this, Melissa. She hasn't made a shot from the field yet, and she's FSU's leading scorer. Yeah,
well, and again, I look back at the stats. She's in 2 games, she's already attempted 18 free throws, so that's 9 a game. By my math, I think. That's a lot of free throws for anybody, and she's got 6 already here, and we're only in the first quarter.
Hendricks, double team, looking for space. Nice shot off the glass.
Nice turnaround move. Not sure the Seminoles recognize the shot clock.
Turnage at the horn. Off the glass, no good, but the lead. An MVP, SEC Freshman of the Year, 2-time All-American. The list goes on and on. Also won an Olympic gold medal in Seoul, Korea, back when she was still playing at Tennessee.
And I think we didn't even see on there, she's still second all-time in scoring at the University of Tennessee. And there's some big-time names on that list. Bridget Gordon, an outstanding player back in her day at the University of Tennessee, and now challenging these young Rattlers as their head coach in her second season at FAMU.
And Coach Wyclef even mentioned it when we spoke with her before the game today, that it's exciting to see Florida A&M bring in a coach like Coach Gordon, and she's excited to see what that might mean for the Rattlers program moving forward.
5 left on the shot clock here. Does FAMU see it?
Purifoy, excuse me, that's Hendricks down low, coming up short on the mid-range. Bowles with the dribble drive at the ACC logo, tried to feed KK Timpson, a foul called inside on the floor. And while we have a break in the action, Melissa, I think you mentioned something about Bridget Gordon being second all-time in the all-time scores. That is a heck of a list.
That is an amazing list of former Lady Vols, some outstanding players, many still involved with the game of basketball. Great to see that list, and great to see Coach Bridget Gordon there near the top of that scoring list still.
Second all-time in scoring, and I believe she also mentioned, Melissa, she said, I'm also now second all-time in steals, which she wasn't quite as enthusiastic about getting past. And she said, just like every great scorer, I cared more about not letting people score on me more.
Yeah, she definitely was a defensive threat as well. I think she liked the rebound as well, as does Malaya Williams, who we just saw there for Florida State, coming up with a big offensive rebound and the putback for the Noles.
Opening points of the second quarter, courtesy of Malaya Williams for Florida State. A shot well off the mark as Amaya Bonner tries to line up a three. It's short. Offensive rebound and putback for Malaya Williams. It doesn't fall, but she will earn a trip to the free throw line.
And you can see that this Rattler team is doing a really good job of keeping KK Timpson off the glass. Everybody concentrating on her. They know what a great rebounder she is. 2 players there wrapped around Timpson, but that leaves Malaya Williams wide open to go in there, grab the offensive board and the putback. Couldn't quite finish on the stick back, but she was fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line. 3 rebounds already for Malaya Williams.
All 3 on the offensive glass as well. First free throw up and good. That one off the mark. Subarats brings it down.
Oh, Maya Bonner there going to get whistled for the foul on Tanaja Purifoy. Bonner thought she got all ball.
That'll be the first foul called against Florida State here in the quarter. Already 2 against Florida A&M. Subarats tried to get it into Purifoy. Omaria Gordon picked it off and will lay it in. Nearly lost the handle, but she makes it work nonetheless.
Maria Gordon so quick to the ball. Then another steal and an opportunity for Gordon.
Gordon one-on-one, puts it up and will earn a trip to the free throw line.
This might be 2 of the smallest players in Division I basketball. Amaria Gordon steps in front of Purifoy there. You said it, couldn't quite come up with the handle, but sticks with the play to finish. And then again, Gordon there on back-to-back plays, coming up with another steal. That time was fouled in the act of shooting. Gordon with 6 points already.
8th turnover, by the way, for Florida A&M with 8 minutes left in the half, Melissa.
And you mentioned it earlier, Bridget Gordon was concerned about her team averaging 22 turnovers a game. It's been problematic for the Rattlers and something that they're really trying to concentrate on. She said they were working on their passing in practice. It's hard to replicate, though, the athleticism of this Seminole perimeter. So far, you've seen the havoc that the Noles can create on the defensive end.
Florida State averaging 12.5 steals per game. That's 5th best in the expanded ACC, up from 15 to 18 teams now with the addition of SMU, Cal, and Stanford. Tie up on the floor. It'll remain with the Rattlers. And Purifoy will send it in for Florida A&M. KK Timpson nearly knocked it away from Hendricks. 10 left on the shot clock. The Rattlers desperately need a bucket. And that will not do the trick. Back the other way, meanwhile, here comes Latson looking for her first field goal. Too strong.
Now the Rattlers want to get out and run. The outlet pass to Gay.
Lost the dribble for a second, recollects Purifoy, dishes it on the baseline. Charlotte McEvans looking for space. Bowles glued to her.
McEvans with some nifty dribbling there to keep that away from Sydney Bowles. So we're going to whistle KK Timpson with the foul. She was battling inside with Hendricks.
The Rattlers trying to break into the scoring column here in this second quarter have yet to do so. Florida State already with 7 second quarter points.
And Seminoles going to go a little smaller here. They bring Carla Villegas back in for Malaya Williams. That'll put either Sydney Bowles or Maya Bonner at the 4 spot, alongside KK Timpson at the 5.
Purifoy trying to get around Villegas. And it's deflected out of play by Carla. Remains with Florida A&M inside 10. Another one knocked away, this time by Bonner, down to 8.
Good hands by KK Timpson on the inbound. Knocked that one away.
Five left. Rattlers can't buy a bucket here in this second quarter. Ellis looking for room, turnaround, no. KK Timpson clears the glass. And now here comes Tanaya Latson. Latson with the blow by and one.
A highlight play for Tanaya Latson. Let's take another look. Nice little crossover dribble. Finishes with the left hand on the left side of the rim through the contact. And one opportunity for Tanaya Latson.
First field goal made in 7 attempts, but she has certainly got her her work in at the free throw line. She'll shoot one more. And with that make, she is 7 of 7 at the charity stripe.
FAMU going to try to outrun Florida State. Just a little bit too much on it. Aaliyah Ellis had gotten behind the Seminole defenders. Another turnover, that's 9 on the game for Florida A&M.
Wide open Bowles.
Sydney Bowles is shooting at almost 50% from the three-point line. Can't leave her that open if you're Florida A&M.
McEvans off the wing.
It's a nice crossover dribble for McEvans.
Nice block by Timpson. Another block by Timpson.
Oh.
And then Tanaya Latson loses the handle in front of her own bench.
On the outlet pass, let's take another look here at these two big blocks. Timpson swats it away right into the hands of Bowles, and then on the outlet pass, Tanaya Latson had a little bit too much on it. Bowles turn it over, give it right back to the Rattlers.
FSU still shutting out Florida A&M here in this second quarter. Purifoy with the right hand puts an end to that.
And Purifoy at just 5'0" comes up with a big bucket for the Rattlers.
Villegas, she has both of Florida State's threes.
Look out if Carla Villegas gets heated up. 2 big threes for her already.
And off her second splash from the perimeter, Florida State leads by 24. Back here in Tallahassee, not only do we have a city divided, but Melissa, we also have a house divided between the two coaching staffs. Head coach Brooke Wyclef facing, her husband, who's in a volunteer assistant coaching role with Florida A&M. Coach Esmo in the huddle on the Rattlers bench.
Yeah, interesting dynamic, I'm sure, at Brooke Wyclef's house this week as her husband, a volunteer assistant for Bridget Gordon and the Lady Rattlers. Esmo in charge of coaching the post players. Maybe doing a little scouting as well. I have to imagine that he was asked a little bit about what the Noles might do.
Coach Gordon saying that the girls all love Coach Esmo, called him a professional, and she's super glad to have him. She also said she feels like she needs to apologize to head coach Wyclef because she said she knows very well. Happy wife, happy life.
Well, and Esmo loves the Seminoles as well. He's very close with a number of the players on this Seminole squad, obviously coming around a lot with his wife as the head coach. So I'm sure he's a little bit conflicted today as well, but he's got his Rattler green on, doing what he can over there to help the Rattlers.
Yeah, she said he's a diehard Rattler, even though he's married to a Seminole, as we had a little traffic collision in the paint on the floor. But there you see husband and wife looking on from their respective benches as we get back to the action here in the second quarter.
Might make for an interesting night tonight, post-game.
Yeah. Not your usual trip home from work, to be sure. Sabu Gay, athletic move there, laying it in around Bowles.
Oh, nice move from Omaria Gordon. They thought she was going to give the ball to the three-point shooter, Villegas, and instead she keeps it herself, goes all the way to the rim. Another highlight play from Omaria Gordon. 10 points for Gordon in 10 minutes for the Noles.
Froze the defenders, froze the play-by-play guy as well. Perfect from the floor, though, Omaria Gordon, as you mentioned, Melissa, with the 10 points already with 4.5 minutes left here in this first half alone. Ellis dumps it down into the paint, and we'll take a look at the latest theatrics and web gem moment from Omaria Gordon.
Check this out again. The typical play is often to try to do a dribble handoff there to Carla Villegas. Rattlers scouted that well. They know Villegas is looking to catch that and shoot the three, and Gordon just says, nah, maybe not. I'll take it myself.
I'll call my own number.
Thank you very much.
Bugay looking for some space. Bowles all over her, and Florida State's pressure pays off with yet another turnover.
And that's just two new players that are, trying to feel their way out. And Gay thought that Purifoy was heading one direction, and she was actually going to head the other. And an unfortunate turnover for the Rattlers. It's now 10.
Gay receiving instruction from Bridget Gordon, who I mentioned spent some time at New Mexico State, had her on the roster while she was there for a short period before going to Cincinnati. And she said when she saw her in the portal, it was an instant decision, no doubt about it. Florida State, meanwhile, stepping on the baseline. That you can't do, obviously, and that's a turnover to the Rattlers.
It's the transfer of Dos Santos in there, trying to make something good happen, pass it along the baseline, but got a little bit too close to the baseline in the process. Good defense by the Rattlers.
24-point lead for the Noles. Purifoy gets it inside to Glover. Snoop Turnage with the block, and she comes away with the basketball. Florida State's defense has been really strong here in this first half, to say the least.
Those long arms of Snoop Turnage make it difficult to shoot over.
Well, still looking to cash in from the perimeter. Villegas has done it twice. Bowles will try one more time, not to be. Third effort, this time Omaria Gordon pulls up from mid-range. And FSU had a few decent looks there and just couldn't cash them in.
Some really good looks for Florida State, including that last one from Omaria Gordon. Didn't even jump on the jump shot. And maybe that's why it was a little bit too strong. And then another solid defensive play there from Malaya Williams.
Turnage, too strong.
It's a good rebound there from Ellis. Fighting hard on the defensive glass.
Noles have had no problems lining up the threes. They just haven't crashed all the way through the basket.
And Noles just 2 of 9 from the three-point line, but another steal for Florida State and a nice outlet pass from Turnage to Bowles.
No points in the last 2 minutes and change for Florida A&M. 3 turnovers in that period of time, and turnovers in consecutive possessions, no less.
Oh, and then just a little bit too much on the pass from Purifoy, and that's going to be another turnover for the Rattlers. Here's the pass from Turnage. She comes up with the steal and then just makes that nice little bounce pass, leading Sydney Bowles right to the rim.
So Turnage will send it in to Tanaya Latson. Things starting to snowball here a bit for Florida A&M. Latson will shoot a couple more.
KK Timpson there to clean it up just in case the foul wasn't called. But Latson definitely took one across the arms, and she'll go back to the free throw line. Looking to join her teammate Amaria Gordon in double figures if she could knock down one of the two here.
8 of 8 for Tanaya Latson from the charity stripe today. And looking through her numbers through the first couple of games, 46% from the floor, 57% from 3. The outlier was 66% from the free throw line, but today she's been perfect.
She'll make up that percentage quite well today. Again, last season shot almost 85% from the free throw line. For her career, Tanaya Latson has been outstanding from the line. She's showing that again today. She's perfect 9 for 9.
Latson herself there called for the reach-in foul. That's the 5th on Florida State, so Sabu Gay will shoot free throws here with 2 minutes left in the half.
Gay has really provided some good minutes here for Bridget Gordon and the Rattlers. I've been impressed with her game. She's got 8 points to lead the Rattlers, 4 of 5 shooting. Got a rebound in 15 minutes as well.
She splits the pair of free throws, the first free throws that anybody in orange and green has shot. Meanwhile, Florida State is 16 of 17 from the line. Inside 2 minutes here in the half. Latson off the screen through the double team will shoot a couple more.
Florida State has outscored FAMU here in the quarter 19-5. No field goals in the last 3 minutes for the Rattlers.
And as Tanaya gets set to shoot a couple of free throws, she's off to another great start in this now her junior year. And at the charity stripe against Illinois, she was 6 for 10. Tonight, 9 for 9. Last season, she was 85% from the line. And of course, right when we brag on her, sorry, America, I'll take the blame for that. I guess I should say sorry to Tanaya.
We apologize for that. T.
Well, ho-hum, she's 9 for 10. And Florida State is a collective 17 of 19 from the free throw line. Melissa, Florida A&M, 17 points. FSU's aggression, just working downhill, earning trips to the charity stripe, has also been paid off in handsome for the Noles. Hendricks, nice move.
Really nice move. Florida State got a little mixed up there defensively on the switches. I think KK Timpson was actually having to guard 2 people there.
Santos swings it to Villegas, looking inside for KK Timpson.
Really good recognition. Hayani realized she couldn't make that entry pass down the lane line to KK Timpson. Gave it up to Villegas. Villegas with a nice entry pass into Timpson. Timpson was fouled, but had the mismatch and had her player on her back. Timpson had a quiet day so far. Just 2 points, 3 rebounds.
Feels like every time she's caught the ball or come in for a rebound, she's been met with at least 2 or 3 Rattlers.
Well, and I think that's probably a point of emphasis for Bridget Gordon. She doesn't have a lot of size available right now, and so an opportunity for her to double team KK Timpson is really the only way that they can shut her down. Nice offensive rebound there by Sydney Bowles, but then she slipped. I think they are going to say that's still Florida State basketball on the tie-up. A nice hustle play, though, on the offensive glass after the miss from Timpson.
So off the miss by Timpson, the Noles have a chance to tack on 2 more points. KK herself pulls up and is short. 46-19 Florida State as we approach the end of the first half. Sabu Gay swung it over to Demaya Griffin. Griffin looking for help from Glover to set the screen. Instead swings it back to Gay. Gay, spin move, right hand blocked. Timpson blocked another one. 2 more blocks for KK Timpson.
Oh.
Bonner late on the closeout though, and Griffin makes her pay.
Big shot from Demaya Griffin. Shoots at 54% from beyond the 3-point line. Made the Seminoles pay on that one.
Dos Santos up top, Villegas. She's making all of her 3-ball attempts today. She got the kiss off the rim too.
Make that 9 points for Carla Villegas off 3 of 3 from the 3-point line.
Purifoy and Griffin working with it. 15 seconds left in the half. Griffin pull up, too strong. Florida State will have the final shot of this half if they want it. Bonner tripped up in the lane. Glover dishes it out. Hendricks setting up Purifoy. Bounce pass. Did they get it off? No.
Oh, that's a bad break for the Rattlers.
Great Pat Summit, who is revamping this Florida A&M roster, getting more of her recruits into the system, and there is a good start to the third quarter for Hendricks, one of the incumbents here for Florida A&M and one of their leading scorers as well.
Yeah, Sydney Hendricks has been the leading scorer for this Rattler team, averaging 15 points a game, 8 rebounds a game. She put up 20 in their loss at Florida just a few nights ago. Good start to the third quarter for the Rattlers as they score and then get the turnover on the Seminoles' first possession.
Hendricks, a player that Coach Gordon mentioned, spent a lot of time in the weight room in the offseason getting into the shape she wanted to be in for this, her junior campaign, or excuse me, her sophomore campaign. On top of that, just with the star power that she has, she said getting to the SWAC tournament was huge for her. She wanted her to get a taste in that SWAC tournament, and that is what fueled her in terms of getting into the weight room, getting into the practice gym, and getting ready for this 2024 season.
Yeah, another block for Florida State there as Malaya Williams comes from behind to swat that one away from Purifoy.
Latson trying to break it down off the dribble. Came away empty there, had it knocked away, gets the possession back, puts up the jumper on the baseline. Timpson crashes the offensive glass, sticks it back up, and will earn a trip to the free throw line.
KK Timpson always going to be in there battling hard on the offensive glass. She's often had 1 or 2 green jerseys on her every time, and that time she just out-jumps Ellis, finishes through the contact. Go to the line for the N1 opportunity.
Timpson averaging 8.5 offensive rebounds per game. That's second best so far early this season in Division I.
Yeah, just 5 points, 5 rebounds so far here for KK Timpson.
Timpson, who has started off the season with consecutive double-doubles, creeps a little closer to that mark. What a nice move by Omaria Gordon, stealing the inbounds and putting up the mid-range baseline jumper.
Omaria Gordon's been impressive tonight. 12 points now. Tie for the team lead. She's 4 of 5 from the floor. She's got 3 steals already.
Made a couple of free throws. There's another turnover by Florida A&M. Timpson this time coming away with the basketball and giving it up to OMG. Good look from the wing for FSU. That was Malaya Williams. Now the outlet pass and a connection to Hendricks.
Hendricks able to outrun the Seminole defense, gets behind.
That's the first miss for Carla Villegas, but good vision there by Gordon. Found her pretty open there in the wing. Latson comes to a jump stop. That's off the mark. Back and forth we go. Decided uptick in tempo here over the last few possessions between the Rattlers and the Seminoles. 54-26 FSU. Cheyenne McEvans trying to turn the corner on Malaya Williams. Now it's Subaratz off the screen.
Ooh, nice turnaround jumper, but then just too strong off the glass for Subaratz.
Subarat's out of Spain, a transfer from Ball State. Gordon gets back the dribble, had it tied up along the sideline. McEvans could not cash in that steal, though. Malaya from the wing, and Malaya Williams has her first 3 of the game.
A little bit frantic there on the offensive end for Florida State. Ball getting tipped around. The Rattlers really getting after it defensively. Ball ends up in the hands of Malaya Williams. She says, I know what to do with that. I'm going to put it in the hoop.
8 points now for Williams. Inside Ellis. Back out to Subarat, trying to get around Omaria Gordon. Caught a lot of the rim but didn't drop.
KK Timpson controlling the boards here early on to start this quarter.
Pull up for OMG is short, and Malaya Williams lost the handle out of play.
All right, let's take a look at that last possession because there was a lot going on. Great play by Subarats, throws it in over the head. Carla Villegas has to chase it down. And then she's going to find Malaya Williams wide open. Williams says, buckets.
KK Timpson has been heavily involved in the action here in this second half. And when you look at the season averages, 19.5 points, 18 rebounds. First half didn't look anything like she was on pace to come near that. But now all of a sudden, Melissa, 6 points, 7 boards. A surge here in this second half. And while we're speaking of maybe perhaps another double-double for KK Timpson, she had her 33rd in her career Thursday at Illinois, second all-time in FSU history, trying to chase down the one and only Natasha Howard.
She needs 8 more to reach 41 to tie Natasha Howard, one of the all-time Seminole greats. KK Timpson trying to etch her name in the record book even more. There you go. Sue Galcantis, another outstanding player back in the 80s, has her jersey hanging in the rafters as well. And Natasha Howard, as soon as she's finished playing and we can get her back here to Tallahassee, I believe that she will have her jersey hanging in these rafters as well.
I was going to say, anytime you wear garnet and gold and you put your name in the record books with those two names, you know you're doing something right. Brilliant career for KK Timpson.
KK Timpson wearing 21 for another Seminole great in her own head coach, Brooke Wyclef. That's exactly why she chose to wear 21, is she wanted to break some of Brooke Wyclef's records, which she is doing as well.
Tie up on the floor, Hayani Diaz dos Santos gets the ball back. Ball should remain with the Seminoles here.
It's been a pretty evenly matched third quarter here. Florida State outscoring the Rattlers 8-6 here in the third quarter. Give the Rattlers credit for continuing to apply some pressure and making it difficult for Florida State.
Florida State leading Florida A&M in this quarter 8-6. That ball knocked away by Ellis. It remains with the Noles inside 10.
Looks like Florida State may be trying a little bit harder to get the ball into the paint, and KK Timpson some post-paint touches.
And it goes to Timpson, who beats the double team, tries to get back her own miss, fights for it, does get it back, and then is stripped of the ball.
Great effort there by Timpson. Just too many hands in the cookie jar, knocking that one away from her.
Delancey couldn't handle the pass. It bounces over the end line, or the baseline, I should say, and Florida State now picks up a dead ball turnover and will pick up possession of the basketball once more. FSU by 29 over Florida A&M. Inside to Timpson, looking for room. Timpson off the side. Ball will go back to Florida State.
Timpson just 2 of 8 from the floor now. She does have 6 points and 8 rebounds. She's gotten some good looks, but unkind rims here at the Tucker Center for the Seminole superstar.
Unfortunate there for Ellis. That ball came bouncing down and underneath her foot, ended up tripping her up, and that ends up sending the ball back to KK Timpson, who floats that up and through. 8 points, 8 rebounds for Timpson, and Melissa at the half, it was 3 of each. So in this quarter alone, 5 minutes of this quarter, she has 5 boards and 5 points.
And she picks up a quick personal foul there. That's her 3rd personal, and that's going to send KK Timpson to the bench. She's going to bring in the super sophomore, Avery Treadwell.
So in comes Treadwell. Treadwell has a couple of offensive rebounds in this game, but I think she'll get called for the personal. And that'll be the 2nd on Avery Treadwell. Couple of free throws here for Sydney Hendricks, who, in addition to what I talked about, going to the weight room, getting hungry off that trip to the SWAC tournament, I thought it was interesting, Melissa. Bridget Gordon said she learned how to work.
Yeah, and sometimes, again, coming in as freshmen, you don't really understand. If the game has come easy to you all along, you don't understand what it takes to really play at this level. So credit Bridget Gordon for helping educate Sydney Hendricks, and then Sydney Hendricks for being the willing pupil and coming in and getting the work done, and you can see it's paying off.
3 ball does everything but drop, and look at the effort inside by Avery Treadwell, collecting the miss and sticking it up for the and 1.
Speaking of putting in the work, Avery Treadwell clearly has put in the work in the offseason and has done a nice job here for the Seminoles in this young season in her sophomore year.
And off of the stick back by Treadwell, the Noles have doubled up the Rattlers here in Tallahassee. Back here in Tallahassee, where the Noles have doubled up the also Tallahassee home team, Florida A&M Rattlers, here at the Donald L. Tucker Center. The latest contributor, Avery Treadwell, and this is just a great effort play all the way around.
Yeah, great offensive rebounding effort and good strong finish there through a couple of Rattler defenders. Avery Treadwell playing well here early on in the season opener for Florida State. Treadwell had 14 points and 8 rebounds, both career highs for her in her sophomore season.
And Treadwell, coming off the bench, has only played 4 minutes of this game. 4 rebounds, 3 on the offensive glass, a made field goal, and now 1 for 1 at the charity stripe. Solid work from the sophomore. Purifoy tried to come off the screen. Bowles was there to hedge. Oh my goodness.
Sydney Bowles just took that one right away from Purifoy. Oh, good look inside there. Maria Gordon thought she had Treadwell.
And Treadwell comes back on defense and knocks that ball out of play. It will remain with Florida A&M, but there's that intensity, there's that effort by Florida State. Treadwell, who was on the ground over there on the baseline, fell to a knee, got up, hustled down, and knocked that ball out of play.
Really solid defense by the Florida State Seminoles.
Into Subirats, working on Carla Villegas. Subirats will earn a trip to the free throw line. It might go against Turnage. We'll see who they get for the reach.
That was on Snoop Turnage. Thought she had the ball clean up top, but I think that offhand had put a hand right on the jersey of Subirats.
First free throw up and good for Yvette. And that is her first point of the game.
Subirats, the graduate student from Barcelona, Spain. Played previously at Ball State.
One of the better rebounders on the Rattlers team a season ago, averaging 4.4 per game. Gordon trying to work around Purifoy, now dishes it to Turnage. Turnage met with the double down low. Back out to Gordon. She'll call her own number. And Omaria Gordon, OMG indeed. Have yourself a game. She has been impressive in multiple facets so far tonight.
Man down. Omaria Gordon doesn't need a whole lot of room to get that one off, and a good play. The Seminole senior. Snoop Turnage with a big-time block there.
And Florida State's defense has been suffocating in this game. Nice dish, Villegas, why not?
Carla Villegas getting things going here. It started off her sophomore season a little slow, but not today. 4 of 5 from beyond the three-point line for 12 points for the sophomore from Spain.
Villegas' career high is 17 points. I believe she made 5 threes at Pitt on her way to that total. Still plenty of basketball left. We'll see how close she gets. Double team on Turnage off the rebound. Omaria Gordon just pulls up at the elbow, and there is no stopping Omaria Gordon right now.
Great read from Gordon, so good with the ball in her hands. That time, she tried to draw the Rattler defense to her. They wouldn't leave Villegas in the corner, so then Gordon says, okay, I'll just pull it up and shoot it myself and knock it down.
Florida State has made each of their last 4 shots. They're on an 8-0 run over the last 1 minute and 13 seconds. They lead 70-32. Big run by Florida State here in this third quarter to bust the game even further open, Melissa.
was a 3 from Amaria Gordon that got it started, and then an assist from Gordon to Villegas for the 3 in the corner, and then another pull-up jumper. Amaria Gordon making the Rattlers pay for the 8-0 run.
The Noles have made their last 4 shots. In fact, they've made 5 of their last 6. Purifoy trying to turn the corner. Couldn't dish it to a teammate. I don't know if they're going to catch Malaya Williams as the last player to have touched the basketball. In fact, they'll actually tack her with a foul.
The 5-foot Purifoy trying to shoot over the 6'4", long-armed Malaya Williams. They're going to say Malaya Williams got a piece of the arms of Purifoy.
No field goals in the last 6 minutes for Florida A&M. Yvette Subaratz made a couple of free throws, and now Purifoy making 1. That has been the extent of the scoring of late for the Rattlers.
Florida State outscoring the Rattlers 21-12 here in the 3rd quarter.
.36 lead for FSU. Bowles thought about it. The blocking foul will be called against Purifoy.
I think Purifoy was just trying to stay in front of Sydney Bowles again. Gives up almost a foot to Sydney Bowles.
I got a kick out of Coach Gordon. She said she might be 5 feet.
Definitely a slight build out there is Tanaja Purifoy, but big heart out there, playing hard, battling.
Speaking of battling, it's not been the night that Tanaya Latson envisioned for herself, surely, from the floor. But credit to 00 in white for Florida State. She has made her hay at the free throw line tonight, already 10 of 11, and she will now shoot 2 more.
Latson continuing to play hard out there, not hanging her head despite not having her typical stellar shooting night. Sometimes you'll have those, and you just got to kind of fight through them. I mean, she still has 13, make it 14 points on an off night. That's pretty good.
Find other ways to score. She's certainly done that. Last year, too, also Florida State's leading player in terms of assists, 4.2 assists per game a season ago for Latson.
Oh, nearly came up with a steal there.
And Subaratz. Florida A&M would like to get her going from the perimeter. Back the other way, Latson gets a shot to drop.
Florida State still applying some full court pressure. Ooh, Subaratz had a chance. If I'm her, I would have pulled the trigger on that one again. They're gonna whistle Hendricks for the travel. She was trying to make a nice move and get around KK Timpson, but had to drag her feet in the process. Nice kick out there from Hendricks to Subaratz. Florida State just a little late on the closeout.
FSU doubling up the Rattlers, 74-37. Latson trying to make her way to the basket. Can't get that to fall, but there's KK Timpson again. Although she is tied up down low, and that should be an alternating possession back to Florida A&M. Subaratz sends it into Purifoy. Inside a minute here in this 3rd quarter. Sage Glover checking back in for Florida A&M.
Yeah, Glover calling out a play there, trying to get her teammates on the same page. Subaratz taking a look.
Yeah, the bank was closed for Subaratz there, and Latson is bumped along the sideline. That'll be the 5th foul on Florida A&M as a team, and that should send Latson back to the charity stripe.
It's Demaya Griffin applying a lot of pressure there on Tanaya Latson, trying to force Latson to give the ball up. It's Instead, she gets whistled for the foul.
Two more free throws for Latson, who's already 12 of 13. Florida State as a team tonight, 22 of now 26. Make it 23 of 27.
Most of those coming from Tallahassee Latson, who's now 13 of 15 from the line. She'll get a quick break. Ani Dos Santos, the transfer from Gulf Coast Community College, back in for the Noles. Purifoy there trying to throw that ball on the baseline over to McEvans. Just a little bit too much on it. Noles can hold for one shot.
So McEvans out of play. Now 10 seconds left for the Noles to operate with. Dos Santos brings it up into the half court. Now looking for a screen. That is short. Hendricks clears the glass, and Subirats, I don't think she realized how little time she had left. Took one or two too many dribbles, and that is how the third quarter will come on the sideline in front of the scorer's table.
Just a couple players going hard after the ball. Avery Treadwell stopped, and Sage Glover didn't. That'll give the Seminoles now a little more time. 20 seconds now on the shot clock for the Noles, the reset.
Gordon gets it into Bowles.
Nifty crossover dribble there. Gordon couldn't get the separation she was looking for.
Inside 10 for the Seminoles. Bowles with it off the right hand, kisses off the glass and through.
Sydney Bowles, the transfer from Texas A&M, native of Lithonia, Georgia. Now with 8 points for the Noles.
4 of 9 from the floor is Bowles. And Subirats dribbled it off her foot. Out it goes to Amaya Bonner. Bonner, the breakaway bucket for the Noles.
Second bucket of the game for Amaya Bonner. Noles still continuing to put that pressure on the Rattlers defensively. Now 20 turnovers for Florida A&M. Those 20 turnovers have led to 20 points for Florida State.
Inside 10 now for Florida A&M. Nobody can get any breathing room, but that is a nice effort by Cheyenne McEvans on the baseline, found some space and stuck it up and through for Florida A&M.
Just the second made field goal of the game for McEvans.
Nice steal for Glover. Got in that passing lane, now trying to dish Hendricks, but Treadwell recovers for the moment, but will be called for the swat.
Treadwell had good position there. I think if she'd have just stayed straight up, she might have been able to block that shot without committing the foul. Definitely got a piece of the arm there and gets whistled for the foul.
And that'll be the third foul on Avery Treadwell. So back into the game comes KK Timpson for Florida State.
Timpson has those 3 personal fouls as well. On double-double watch as she's got 8 rebounds and 8 points for the Noles.
3 and 3 in the first half for Timpson, 5 and 5 in the third quarter for number 21 for FSU.
Hendricks into double figures now, 12 points for the Rattlers to lead Florida A&M.
4 of 9 from the floor for Hendricks, a perfect 4 for 4 from the free throw line. And speaking of the free throw line, that has been where Tallahassee Latson has gone more often than not here tonight, and it looks like that's exactly where she's headed once more.
Latson looking a little frustrated there. I'm not sure she loves the free throw line as much. She'd probably rather just make the bucket, not have to play through the contact, but she has certainly made the Rattlers pay for putting her there. Now 14 of 16 from the line for Latson, 18 points to lead all scorers. Make it 19.
I was going to say now 15 of 17 from the line 2 shots have fallen for Latson from the floor. Turnage comes out to guard Glover, and she'll be called for the reach.
Snoop Turnage knew exactly what she did. She was just explaining to Glover. Glover's like, what was that? And Snoop's like, I put 2 hands on you. Billy Smith, the veteran official over there, knows the rules. Gonna call it every time.
Billy Smith joined by Josh Howe and Kiara Negron tonight. And that's a 3 ball for Cheyenne McEvans. Melissa, you mentioned the injury issues throughout the course of her career. Coach Gordon saying confidence is the key element, and it's something that she can only develop by playing throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, you just got to get back into a rhythm and a routine, and good to see McEvans starting to get some rhythm back.
An offensive foul called against Tanaya Latson, but we'll go ahead and take a look at the 3 ball.
A nice pass out from Gay, finds her right there on the left baseline. Nothing but the bottom of the net for McEvans.
That's the second foul called against Tanaya in this game. Hendricks beats Timpson to the basketball, but then shuffles her feet down in the post and turns the ball over.
And some good help side defense there. Snoop Turnage coming over. McEvans just a little bit uncertain, seeing the long arms of Snoop Turnage coming at her. Shuffled her feet. Fans here got excited just a minute ago with the 81 points. They get free Chick-fil-A for everyone here in attendance.
Well, considering Florida State's propensity to score the basketball, I think they're going to be getting free Chick-fil-A quite often.
Certainly will. These season ticket holders definitely going to get their money's worth if they take advantage of that promotion.
Back and forth we go. When the scoring for Florida State stops, well, I mean, literally in 7 minutes, but figuratively, points-wise, nobody knows. Latson back out top to Gordon. Gordon, spin move, my goodness.
Maria Gordon, nice reverse pivot there. Creates some separation and then knocks down the jumper. She's now tied Tanaya Latson with 19 for the team lead. Maria Gordon, how efficient of a night. 8 of 10 from the floor for the point guard. Perfect from the free throw line as well.
Yeah, she's done a little bit of everything. You add in 5 rebounds, 3 assists. It's been a very productive evening at the office for Omaria Gordon. Villegas.
Not to mention the 5 steals that Gordon has on the defensive end as well. She'd be my player of the game if we get a vote.
Good D by Villegas. Timpson crashes for yet another rebound. Back the other way. We'll have a tie-up.
Nice little fadeaway jump shot there from Omaria Gordon. That's tough to defend right there. Savvy move from the senior point guard from Sarasota, Florida.
The first 2 years of her career, Omaria Gordon averaged around 6 or 7 points per game. Last year, Melissa averaged 13 and change. Continues to progress offensively, and she hasn't lost her ability to dish the basketball either.
Yeah, Gordon battled some injury for both of those freshman and sophomore seasons, and once she was finally healthy last season, you see why she was the McDonald's All-American in high school. The player of the year in the state of Florida coming out as a senior.
Gay took the extra step as she attempted to drive down the lane for Florida A&M. That's another traveling violation and yet another turnover for Florida A&M that puts them squarely at their average coming into this game at 22.
Yeah, some good defensive pressure there. It looked like Tanaya Latson didn't have anywhere to go, didn't have any help besides Omaria Gordon, but Gordon able to shake the defenders and get open to find a place to shoot.
Villegas got the offensive rebound. Turnage behind the back to the corner, and Villegas. Back and forth they go, now back out to Tanaya Latson. Inside 10 for Florida State. Timpson comes out to set the screen. Latson calls her own number, and now she's starting to get the shots to drop. Although you would think she should from around the free throw line. That's where she's been a lot.
Certainly she should. And she was actually trying to get the ball to KK Timpson there, but her defender collapsed in the paint. That might be the easiest steal tonight. Latson gets all season. Passed right to her. Finishes at the rim. Oh, they're going to whistle tonight. Latson for the charge. Okay.
Nifty move by Latson. Whew. But an offensive foul called against 00 in white. The Noles lead 85-44.
Media, timeout on the floor.
Back here in Tallahassee, folks around here call her OMG, and for good reason tonight. Melissa Omaria Gordon has had her fingerprints all over this game.
She's having a career kind of night here for the Seminoles. 19 points now, tied for the team lead. Also 5 steals for Omaria Gordon tonight. She got 5 rebounds as well. She's only 5'4".
Those 5 steals, Melissa, are a new career high, in fact, for Omaria Gordon here tonight. And the 19 points, 5 away from a career high that she set against Syracuse. So we'll see how long she stays in the game, but possible that she could perhaps hit that mark as well. Gay operates off the elbow and gets it to Eve Alexander. Back inside to Subarats, who now heads back out to the perimeter. McKnight blows by Villegas off the dribble, but initiates contact in the post and gets called for the charge.
Sydney Bowles gonna draw that charge from McEvans.
Eve Alexander, a freshman out of Louisiana who originally committed to New Mexico State, and then as soon as Bridget Gordon made her way to become the head coach at Florida A&M, flipped the commit and now is in year 1 as a Rattler herself, coming in off an injury issue, so likely to play extended time moving forward this season. Meanwhile, Dos Santos can't connect from underneath the basket. Back the other way, wraparound dish
Nice pass from Gay for the finish for Subarats. Subarats now 7 points.
And all 7 of those points here in this second half. Timpson couldn't get the lay-in to go. That would have gotten her into double digits. And that'll be a trip to the free throw line for Olivia Delancey.
Check out this nifty wraparound bounce pass by Sabuge.
Subarats the beneficiary. Delancey will head to the free throw line off the ensuing possession by Florida A&M. Delancey, if you weren't tuned in earlier, preseason All-SWAC second team, averaged 13.1 points per game a season ago. Had 17 games, in fact, where she scored 10 or more. She has yet to score, Melissa, in this game against the Noles here tonight.
Yeah, came off the bench here early in the first quarter. Just hasn't been able to get on track for the Rattlers. Give a little credit to KK Timpson and the Seminole post players for not allowing her to find easy looks inside.
Shot attempt by Amaria Gordon was too strong. It was last touched by a Rattler, though, so it remains with the Seminoles with 3.5 left here in regulation. And Bowles will earn a trip to the free throw line.
That foul on the last possession for the Rattlers was called on KK Timpson. That was her 4th. Brooke Wyclef made the substitution, and that may be all that we see of the senior KK Timpson for tonight.
Free throw up and good for Bowles, who, if she makes the next one, will jump into double figures in the score column tonight. She does, and Florida State leads by 40.
Katie Bowles off the bench tonight, 10 points, 3 rebounds in 24 minutes of action. Just giving the Noles exactly what they're looking for off the bench.
Treadwell will be called for the reach, and a couple of free throws coming for Florida A&M.
It's going to be 4 on Avery Treadwell as well. Just the arm bar as McEvans trying to turn the corner, and Treadwell just couldn't get that lead foot over there to the lane line quick enough.
Cheyenne McEvans, before all the injury issues that we've talked a few times about tonight, was an all-freshman team player at Buffalo in the MAC. Then just played 12 games as a sophomore before suffering a career-ending injury, transferred to Syracuse, and had another season-ending injury after 17 games, then didn't play her second year with the Cuse, and now here she is in Tallahassee.
Yeah, that second injury was like in January of 23, and then she just didn't ever make the complete comeback to come back and play last season for the Syracuse Orange. So then made the move here to finish her final season as a Lady Rattler.
Her head coach saying, impressed, somewhat surprised by how good she looked after not playing basketball essentially for 2 years against Florida. The Rattlers' leading scorer, or actually one of their leading scorers against the Gators. Tonight she has 8 points to her credit, most of which coming here in the second half.
A solid effort from Amaya Bonner, too, off the bench for Florida State. Now 6 points, a couple of rebounds in 19 minutes of action for the junior Amaya Bonner from Fremont, California.
Bonner, who transferred into the program from Cal, her first game as a Seminole, 11 fourth quarter points against Tennessee to knock off the Lady Vols a season ago. Gay stripped to the basketball. Here comes Florida State looking to run. They've got numbers. There is Bonner. That is short, and Malaya Williams skies for the rebound.
Nice kick out. Bonner thought about it again and then decided to use a little clock.
Gordon inside, gets it to Malaya Williams, who has to retreat to the midcourt stripe. lays it in with the right hand. A nice kiss off the rim for Malaya Williams, and the Noles have hit 90 points. They actually have 91 to be specific. 10 points for Williams.
Malaya Williams showing some guard skills out there on the perimeter, facing up outside the three-point line. Just took it off the dribble. Nice strong finish there inside for Olivia Delancey.
So with that, Florida A&M hits 50 points in this game. As we approach the final 2 minutes of play here in Tallahassee, here comes the double team on Bonner and a timeout by Florida State.
30-second timeout.
Take a look here. Florida State forcing the turnover. Quick outlet from Malaya Williams into the hands of her point guard, Gordon. Gordon quickly up the floor, and then the bucket back to Malaya Williams for the finish.
Brooke Wyclef burning a timeout with Amaya Bonner doubled right in front of the Noles bench. That's the first timeout, now the second timeout here in this quarter for the Seminoles. FSU well on their way to going 2-1 through their first 3 contests. Next up for the Noles in a couple of days' time will be Samford before they take on NC Central, and then have the Florida Gators pay a visit on the ACC network next week.
Yeah, one little nugget we haven't had a chance to share about Malaya Williams, common a factor there. Malaya Williams actually played for FAMU head coach Bridget Gordon at Cincinnati. Gordon, an assistant there. And Malaya Williams in her sophomore season, I believe, played for head coach Bridget Gordon.
McEvans starting to heat up now, cashing in from the mid-range.
Evans into double figures now, 10 points. 4 of 6 from the floor.
Ayani Diaz dos Santos finds Snoop Turnage, and Turnage picks up the foul from Florida A&M. She got bumped by a Rattler. And you mentioned Malaya Williams playing for Coach Gordon. This is what she had to say earlier this week about Malaya. She said, working with her 2 years at Cincinnati and watching her grow, this is a great fit for her. I'm happy to see that she's starting. And she said she talked to her, Melissa, and she said, I made it clear to her, once you're my baby, you're always my baby. And so she's very proud to see what Malaya Williams' career is taking off and becoming.
Yeah, and I think that the important piece of what she said there is it's a great fit for her, and I think that's something that sometimes recruits forget about, is that you've got to find the right fit for you, and every program isn't the right fit. So credit to Malaya Williams for really finding her way to Florida State and realizing that this style of offense and the pressure on both the offensive and the defensive ends really fits the style that Malaya Williams is most comfortable playing in.
Another bucket for Florida A&M as we head inside the final minute. Florida State with a sizable lead over Florida A&M. And that'll be the 4th foul on Gay. A couple more free throws now coming for Florida State. Dos Santos will head to the line to shoot a couple of free throws. And Melissa, just to really circle back on what the Noles have done tonight, especially defensively, and then getting in transition, earning their way to the free throw line. If you come into a matchup and Tanaya Latson and KK Timpson are combined 6 of 23 from the floor, and you win that game by nearly 40 points, that says a heck of a lot about the effort on both sides of the floor by the entire bench.
Absolutely, and I think it also speaks to the depth and the the number of other players that Florida State has that can step up and do some big things. We talk a lot about the big 3 and Latson and Gordon and Timpson, but you can't forget about players like Villegas and Bowles. Malaya Williams has had a big night with 8 points.
And those 3 players you mentioned all in double figures. At the end of the night, Florida State puts 5 in double figures, and they will win this game over their crosstown rival Florida A&M by a score of 93-54.